Induction to the Priest and His Disciples by Kurata Hyakuzō. Translated by Glenn William Shaw, 1886 to 1961. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Induction. Mortality, a vision that came to me once on a day. Man, walking on the face of the earth. I am born, and bathed in sunlight and breathing in the atmosphere, I live. Truly I live. See, that beautifully colored arch of a sky, and this black earth on which these naked feet of mine walk with firm step. Luxuriant trees and grasses, flying and frisking birds and beasts, and better still, the preciousness of woman, the love of children. Ah, I would live, I would live. Pauses. Up to this day I have known all manner of grief, but the more I suffer, the more I like this world. Ah, strange world, I cling to thee. Lovable Shaba, I would play in the forests of worldly passions. I would live 1,000, nay 10,000 years, forever, forever. A being with covered face appears. Being, what are you? Man, I'm a man. Being, then you're a thing that dies, aren't you? Man, I'm alive, that's all I know. Being, you evade again, I see. Man, my father died. My father's father too. Oh, many of my beloved neighbors also have died. But that I shall die, I cannot believe. Being, you're spoilt, aren't you? Man, after a moment's hesitation. In truth, I'm afraid. I fear I may die. Ah, you've looked through my heart. The truth is, I think I may die. For from the beginning, my ancestors, the wise patriarchs, have called themselves mortal. Being, it's the truth. Like birds and beasts, grasses and trees, fishes and shells, you die. Man, who are you? You who speak with these words of authority. Being, I'm the servant of that which never dies. Don't you know me? Man, I seem to know you, but no, I don't after all. Being, often you seem to call my name, especially of late, so often as to vex me. Man, then is it possible that you... Humbly, I beg you to take off your veil and let me see your face but once. Being, I don't show my face to mortals, to things that die. Man, why not? Being, because if seen of a mortal, I'd die of shame. Man, in the words thing that dies, I hear what seems to be a meaning of contempt. Being, that's because death comes of sin. The sinless live eternally. Thing that dies is identical with sinner. Man, then do you say that all men are sinners? Being, they're all bad. The price of sin is death. Disappears. Man, this was he, that's certain. What on earth is he, illusion or actuality? At first I was sure he was a phantom, but gradually I reached the point where I couldn't believe it, for his terrible power of destruction is too plain. If he's real, what on earth is he? I'd like to see what he really is. If I but knew that, I'd not fear him. Because knowing the real nature of those fearful things, fire and water, I use them according to their own laws and make them turn the wheels of my mills and heat my furnaces. I'd like to know his laws. I'd like to get hold of his real being. Otherwise, my life will always be threatened. It's my misfortune that I've made his acquaintance, but my wisdom also has grown. Ah, but he's fearful. Being, reappearing. You called me again, didn't you? Man, I want to see your face. Being, it cannot be. Man, not possibly? Being, that wish is beyond your station, so long as your eyes are impure. Man, not though I make you? Being, you poor thing. Man extends his hand and tries to take off the veil. Being, cursed be that hand. Distant thunder rolls. Man falls to his knees. A phantom procession appears. Being, behold. Man, a line of birds, beasts, and creeping things goes by. The eagle controls the dove, the wolf oppresses the sheep, and the snake lords it over the frog. But he who rides at the head of the procession on a horse, clad in mail and armed with bow and arrow, looks like a man. Being, he leads the whole procession. Man, he's their conqueror. Being. And the most pitiful of all pitiful things. Man. Ah, he's clapped spur to his horse, and all have broken into a charge. Boisterous music is heard. Just like a tempest. Where can they be going so rapidly? Being. To destruction. To that place where go all who know me not. Man. Oh! The procession passes on. The stormy music gradually calms down and changes into a quiet dream tune. A new vision appears. Being. Behold! Man. It's a young man and woman, isn't it? He embraces her with his strong arms, and she buries her face on his breast. Her black hair quivers on her pearly shoulders. She must be intoxicated with sweet delight. Being. Look well. Man {looking intently). Ah, she's crying. He talks to her and sighs. He looks lonely. Being. They're beginning to know that happiness breaks. Man. Aren't they calling you? Being. They've begun to think of me. But they naturally shrink from calling me. They're deceiving themselves. Man. The man tries to take her in his arms again. But this time she resists and gets away. And she's cursing him. He seizes her. He pulls her by main force to the edge of the cliff. Ah, look out! He cries. Ah! Being. It's the mistaken fall of those who see me not directly. The music stops and the vision vanishes. Man. I acknowledge you. I look straight at you. I'm importunate to see your real nature. Being. With the intelligence of a little monkey, eh? With an intelligence that goes round surfaces, but can't possibly go to the heart of things. Man. I acknowledge your power of destruction. Why do you destroy things? Being. To temper the unbreakable and imperishable. Man. I seek such imperishable things. Ever since meeting you, I've been looking for something you can't break. Being. Have you found it? Man. Not yet. You've broken everything I thought permanent. Desire of conquest, friendship, love, learning. Being. It's my work to destroy all things that deserve destruction. A pause. Man. I found what looks to be permanent. This time there's no mistake. Being. What? Man. My child. Though I grow weak and die, my child lives on with new strength. I breathe my desires into his soul. Being. You don't know yet, I see. Man. What? Being. Your son is dead. Man. What? Grows sickly pale. Is such a thing possible? Being. The bad news will be here shortly. Man. It was only this morning a letter came saying he was studying in good health. Being. He died just after noon. Man. It's a lie. The being preserves silence. Man {staring). Ah, there's truth in your attitude. Hopelessly. It's all over. Being. Goodbye. Man {excited). Wait! My son was concealing some illness, wasn't he? Thinking not to worry his poor father. Being. He was the liveliest of all his class. Man. Did he fight a duel? To strike down some discourteous insulter? For he prized his good name. Being. No. Man. Then how did he die? Being. He fell from a chimney. Man becomes like one struck dumb. Being. Up to within 2 minutes before, he was talking merrily with his friends on a sunlit lawn. Then one of them upon a sudden impulse said, "Won't somebody show us how to climb that chimney?" Your son, also in caprice, and thinking in his lovable and humorous heart to give his friends a laugh, said gaily, "I'll give her a try," and began to climb. The rest praised his nimbleness. But the spiked step at the very top was rotten. Man. Oh. Being. Men said the degenerate chimney sweep who came later in the afternoon was a lucky man. Man {groaning). It's art. The permanent thing is art. I'll mix my colors with my tears. I'll paint into my canvas that which can't be broken. Being. When it comes to that, I say not whether it be permanent or not. But you don't forget your illness, do you? Man. Not for a moment. When you took my health from me, my misfortunes began. And I first knew you then. Since that time, how I've suffered. Being. If your temperature goes up 2 degrees, you'll have to throw away your brush. Man. Oh. Being. Do you think that impossible? Even now, don't you have fever every day? Man. It's prayer. The permanent thing is prayer. Though I can't move in my bed, I can close my eyes and pray. Being. If a single blow disturbs the balance of your head, you'll talk silly nonsense with the mouth that has prayed till now. And with the hands so admirably folded till now, you'll do filthy things before the eyes of the world, like a monkey in a zoo. Man (staggering). Such things are impossible. Being. They're possible. For example, recently your fellows have been killing each other by the millions, and there's no telling how many such idiots have come of it. Man. You're too cruel. Being. Simply according to your deserts. The cry of living things, birds and beasts without number, arises. Man (afraid). That cry? Being. It's the curse of the creatures you've killed. Man. Ah. (He presses his head in his hands.) Being. You're a thing born of adultery, though you hide it under the name of love. Man. Leave off the numbering of my sins. Being. For they're numberless. Man. I couldn't live without eating these, and I'm so made that I can't reproduce without adultery. Being. That's the lot of mortals. Man (pleadingly). Pity the sufferings of man. Being. Compassion's not my business. Man. Why not? Ah, why not? Being. It's to punish. The earth trembles furiously. Man falls to the ground. The being vanishes. The stage is pitch dark. The noise of a tempest arises. Then the tumult gradually dies down. The stage becomes dimly lighted. A pale blue sky is seen in the distance, and man's body is visible stretched out like a corpse. Soft music plays. Cherubim appear above and sing. Cherubim. Blessed be all creatures on earth. Joy be to the immortals' dear children. The cherubim vanish. Man (standing up and raising his face to heaven). Far, far away is the blue of the sky. A vague longing pulls me thither. I have the sweet feeling of being drawn in. I begin to be sure that this world must be good. I can no longer doubt the existence of permanent things. I'm surely controlled by some power. But I'm satisfied that I'm controlled with kindness. As if the acceptance of it is happiness itself. I go. (Takes 2 or 3 steps forward.) To yonder sky, till my soul be lifted up. Curtain. End of Induction. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine.